When you talk about the all-time greats in boxing, there are a handful of names that always come up. And one of those names, one that rings out with this incredible sense of power and national pride, is Julio César Chávez. Today, we're digging into the story of the man they call El Gran Campeón, the great Mexican champion. That's so much more than just a nickname. For millions of people, it's a statement of fact. It speaks to a legacy that went way beyond the boxing ring, a legacy of a fighter who became a true symbol for his country. So that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. What's the secret ingredient? What is it that takes someone from being just a great athlete and turns them into a genuine legend? Is it all about the stats, the unforgettable moments, or something else entirely? We're going to see how all those pieces fit together for Chavez. So here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the pure, undeniable numbers behind his dominance. Then we'll get into that intangible quality, the heart of a champion. From there, we'll look at how he became a hero to a nation. And finally, we'll see what makes his legacy so powerful today. All right, first things first, let's talk numbers. Because before he was an icon, before the legend, there were the cold, hard stats of his career. And honestly, they're so dominant, they almost don't seem real. Let's just start with this one number, 87. What is that? Well, that's how many fights Julio César Chávez won in a row from the start of his pro career. An absolutely mind-boggling, undefeated streak. Just to put that 87-0 start into perspective, he fought for more than a decade before he ever actually lost a fight. His record was 89 wins, no losses, and 1 draw before he finally took an L. I mean, in boxing, where one punch can change absolutely everything, that level of invincibility it's just almost impossible to imagine. And how about this one? 27. That's the number of times he successfully defended a world title. See, for him, it wasn't just about winning the championship belt. It was about keeping it. He completely owned his divisions. And when you zoom out and look at his whole career, the numbers are just staggering. He was in the ring 115 times over 25 years. And get this, 37 of those were world title fights. That means for nearly a third of his career, he was fighting at the absolute highest level. This was not a flash in the pan. This was sustained greatness for an entire generation. On top of all that, he wasn't just dominant, he was versatile. He proved he could hang with anyone by moving across weight classes, becoming the very first boxer from Mexico to win world titles in 3 different divisions. That right there is history. But look, as incredible as those stats are, they really only tell you half the story. If you really want to understand the legend of Chavez, you got to look past the numbers and into the heart of the man. And at his core as a fighter was that signature, infamous body attack. Oh man, he was just relentless. He would walk his opponents down, absorb punishment, and just unload these vicious, soul-crushing hooks to the body. It wasn't about a flashy one-punch knockout. It was about systematically breaking you down, physically and mentally, round after round. You don't really see a fighter's true heart when they're cruising to an easy win. You see it when their back is against the wall, when they are on the absolute brink of defeat. And for Chavez, one legendary night in 1990 put that heart to the ultimate test. So he's in the ring with the undefeated, lightning-quick Meldrick Taylor, and he's losing. Badly. He's being totally outboxed. Going into the final round, he is way behind on all the scorecards he needs a knockout to win, period. With that perfect record on the line, he just digs down deep and unleashes an absolute storm, dropping Taylor in the final chaotic seconds. The referee stops the fight with only 2 seconds left. 2. It was this impossible, miraculous victory that told you everything you needed to know about his unbreakable will to win. And a fighting spirit like that, well, that connects with people on a whole different level, way beyond just boxing fans. It's what transformed him from a great fighter into a true national hero in Mexico. Just take a look at this number. 132,274. That is how many people packed into Mexico City's legendary Estadio Azteca just to watch him fight in 1993. And let's be clear, that wasn't just some big crowd. It's still the all-time world record for the largest attendance at a boxing match, ever. A record that stands to this day. He wasn't a sports star at that point. He was a cultural force of nature. In a country that has produced so many boxing legends, Chavez stands alone. He is El Gran Campeón. For the people of Mexico, he was a symbol of strength, of resilience, of national pride every single time he stepped through those ropes. So you take the mind-blowing numbers, the warrior's heart, the hero status, and you put them all together. What you get is an enduring legacy, one that was cemented in history long after he hung up the gloves. This timeline really gives you a sense of his incredible 25-year career. Kicking off way back in 1980, hitting those unbelievable highs like the Azteca record in '93, all the way to his final fight in 2005. And the journey gets its perfect ending, the highest honor in the sport, in 2011. And that legacy is still alive and well today, with his sons following in his footsteps. But the ultimate validation, the final word on his career, was his induction into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And he got in on the first ballot, an honor that's only for the absolute, undisputed, no doubt about it legends of the sport. So, there you have it. We've come full circle. You have the jaw-dropping numbers that built the foundation, the unbreakable heart that defined his fights, the icon status that made him a hero, and the lasting legacy that cements his place in history forever. Which brings us right back to that first question we asked. What defines a legend? Is it the records they set, or is it the moments they create? When it comes to Julio César Chávez, I think the answer is pretty clear. It's both. He gave us records that might never be broken, but he also gave us moments that will never, ever be forgotten. And maybe that combination, that's the true mark of a legend.